Welcome back. The Buffalo International Film Festival has spent the last week bringing filmmakers together at different venues around the city, and our next guest is being honored at their closing gala. Joining me now is a prolific filmmaker and Lifetime Achievement Award winner, David L. Snyder. Welcome, David. Thanks for joining me.
Well, thank you for asking me.
Of course. We're happy to have you.
Thank you.
And, for our viewers out there that may not know a little bit about your story, can you tell us about your career and some of the work that you've been able to be a part of?
Well, the first drawing table that I ever worked at was down the street from the studio at Hutch Tech. And I studied architecture there. And at the time, of course, you had to pass an exam to be admitted there, even though it was a public school. So I studied architecture and building construction technology, and I think it's probably connected to my family who were contractors, mason contractors. So I know a little bit about it. And then when I was going to Tech, I got to work on a lot of projects there. And then along came a brief period where I became a musician, and I went on the road for 4 years. And then when that ended, I went back into architecture, and I got a job in a Midwest concern. And to move along a little quicker, they opened an office in California. So I went to California, and I was working in engineering and architecture for an aerospace company. And I was going to do a project that was real estate development, and it had a Western theme. And so I did some research on it, and I found my way. I was able to go to Paramount Studios to the Western Street from a show called Bonanza, which your grandparents may have watched. And I thought this might be a thing to do, because I felt that I had failed as a musician and I failed as a graphic designer in this. And then all of a sudden an opportunity came along for a job that I didn't even know existed, which was, there's a person called the art director on films, and he's in charge of the look of the film, and working with the director and the costume designer and the cameraman. And so I just fell into it, and without planning it, it was what I was meant to do. It was a godsend.
Yeah. Tell us about some of the movies or great works that you've been able to be part of.
Well,
looking at some of them.
I guess out of the 50 of them, I'd say my favorites are Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Blade Runner, Racing with the Moon, Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield, which was a lot of fun and made a lot of money. They were happy about that. And I think the ones that I like the most are story-oriented, not visually oriented, because I could do pictures after Blade Runner all I wanted to do in the science fiction world. But if a story wasn't interesting to me, I was at a point, as years went on. So I got in at the very end of the studio system at Universal Studios, where they were making 35 films and TV shows. And so I just got in at the right time, where there was departments here, there, everywhere. Now everything is independent, and even major studios like Warner Brothers and 20th Century Fox, they don't carry departments anyway. Everyone's a freelancer.
Right.
So it's a whole different thing. And I kind of missed the days of Universal where you could just walk from one department to another and order everything, and the next day you'd walk in and it would be done.
Right.
Now you have to start over in every aspect. So most of the films that I've done recently are all independents, and some of them are good films.
And you're being recognized for them here in Buffalo.
Yeah.
How does that feel, coming back to your hometown?
I've been to a lot of film festivals all over the world, and this one is the most important to me, because
it's home.
When I was here, I had no idea what I was going to do, and I had to leave to find out. So I feel like with what I've accomplished, it's all really from being here, because I believe if you're from a town and you drink the water and you eat the food that's in the ground of the water, it's part of you.
Yeah.
And it never leaves you, and it's like, this is my home.
That's right. And you're being honored at the film festival's closing gala. So tell us about that award you're being honored with.
Well, it's an award and it's the inaugural award. It's a Lifetime Achievement Award, and I'm very glad to get this award at my age, because if it was like 2 or 3 years or 5 years from now, there might not be no me to give the award to. Yeah, I'm just being practical about it, you know.
No, you'll be here
So
forever.
I'm very happy about it, and there's many people from Buffalo that a lot of local people don't remember or know that are extremely successful. Christine Baranski, Wendy Malick, Tom Fontana, the list goes on and on and on. There's so many people that came from here, and the industry really started here at the, it was the first purpose-built movie theater was in Buffalo. Yeah, and it was the Marx Brothers who eventually built the Strand Theater on Broadway, which was the biggest theater in New York at the time.
Yeah.
So that all came from Buffalo.
And you are, you're a part of it, and you are someone that helped put Buffalo on the map and continues to do so. So we thank you for coming back here and allowing us to honor you. Viewers, if you would like to attend the Buffalo International Film Festival's Legacy Gala with David Snyder, just visit northparktheater.org for tickets. He's also going to be screening Demolition Man. So thank you so much for coming in, David.
Thank you. And the last thing I want to say is someday I hope we get to film here in Buffalo.
Okay,
That's what
let's
I'm
make it
looking forward
happen.